In the year 1934. In the year 1934. Some of my co-workers in the movement of the depressed classes expressed a desire to go on a sightseeing tour. If I agreed to join them, I agreed. It was decided that our plan should, at all events, include a visit to the Buddhist caves at Ellora. It was arranged that I should go to Nashik, and the party should join me at Nashik. To go to Ellora, we had to go to Aurangabad. Aurangabad is a town in the Mohammedan state of Hyderabad, and is included in the dominion of His Exalted Highness, the Nizam. On the way to Aurangabad, we had first to pass another town, called Daulatabad, which is also in the Hyderabad state. Daulatabad is a historical place, and was, at one time, the capital of the famous Hindu king, by name, Ramdeo Rai. The fort of Daulatabad is an ancient historical monument, and no tourist, while in that vicinity, should omit a visit to it. Accordingly, our party had also included in its program a visit to the fort of Daulatabad. We hired some buses and touring cars. We were about 30 in number. We started from Nashik to Yola, as Yola is on the way to Aurangabad. Our tour program had not been announced, and quite deliberately, we wanted to travel incognito in order to avoid difficulties which an untouchable tourist has to face in outlying parts of the country. We had informed our people at those centers only at which we had decided to halt. Accordingly, on the way, although we passed many villages in the Nizam state, none of our people had come to meet us. It was, naturally, different at Daulatabad. There, our people had been informed that we were coming. They were waiting for us, and had gathered at the entrance to the town. They asked us to get down and have tea and refreshment first, and then to go to see the fort. We did not agree to their proposal. We wanted tea very badly, but we wanted sufficient time to see the fort before it was dusk. We, therefore, left for the fort, and told our people that we would take tea on our return. Accordingly, we told our drivers to move on, and within a few minutes, we were at the gate of the fort. The month was Ramzan, the month of fast for Mohammedans. The month was Ramzan, the month of fast for the Mohammedans. Just outside the gate of the fort, there is a small tank of water, full to brim. There is all around a wide stone pavement. Our faces, bodies and clothes, were full of dust, gathered in the course of our journey, and we all wished to have a wash. Without much thought, some members of the party washed their faces, and their legs, on the pavement, with the water from the tank. After these ablutions, we went to the gate of the fort. There were armed soldiers inside. They opened the big gates, and admitted us into the archway. We had just commenced asking the guard the procedure for obtaining permission to go into the fort. In the meantime, an old Mohammedan, with white flowing beard, was coming from behind, shouting,
"The Danes have polluted the tank. The Danes have polluted the tank."
The Danes, meaning untouchables, have polluted the tank. Soon, all the young and old Mohammedans who were near about joined him, and all started abusing us.
The Danes have become arrogant. the dates have forgotten their religion. Dates must be taught a lesson.
The Dades have become arrogant. The Dades have forgotten their religion, to remain low and degraded. The Dades must be taught a lesson. They assumed a most menacing mood. We told them that we were outsiders and did not know the local custom. They turned the fire of their wrath against the local untouchables, who, by that time, had arrived at the gate.
Why did you not tell these outsiders that this tank could not be used by untouchables?
Why did you not tell these outsiders that this tank could not be used by untouchables? Was the question they kept on asking them. Poor people. They were not there when we entered tank. It was really our mistake, because we acted without inquiry. They protested that it was not their fault. But the Mohammedans were not prepared to listen to my explanation. They kept on abusing them and us. The abuse was so vulgar that it had exasperated us. There could easily have been a riot and possibly murders. We had, however, to restrain ourselves. We did not want to be involved in a criminal case which would bring our tour to an abrupt end. One young Muslim in the crowd kept on saying that everyone must conform to his religion, meaning thereby that the untouchables must not take water from a public tank. I had grown quite impatient and asked him, in a somewhat angry tone, "Is that what your religion teaches? Would you prevent an untouchable from taking water from this tank if he became a Mohammedan?" These straight questions seemed to have some effect on the Mohammedans. They gave no answer, and stood silent. Turning to the guard, I said again, in an angry tone, "Can we get into the fort? Or not? Tell us, if we can, we don't want to stop." The guard asked for my name. I wrote it out on a piece of paper. He took it to the superintendent inside, and came out. We were told that we could go into the fort, but we could not touch water anywhere in the fort, and an armed soldier was ordered to go with us to see that we did not transgress the order. I gave one instance to show that a person who is an untouchable to a Hindu is also an untouchable to a Parsi. This will show that person who is an untouchable to a Hindu is also an untouchable to a Mohammedan.